Welcome back, friends, for more Homecoming Morenatsu Revisited. So in the last episode, we finished up the D&D session, decided to lead the way and everything, despite being a healer that could easily, get destroyed, but yeah. But nevertheless, regardless of all of our bad moments, we actually won the session. Though, yeah, a couple people died. Sadly. But, it's all good, though. It was a fun time at Shun's. And, of course, we ended off with a bit of a sentimental moment with Shun. Him kind of not really sure what to say, but he kind of wants he wants Hiroyuki to come back and stay. It's really tough, though, because, honestly, it'd be hard, Is it the best for Hiroyuki and Shun? Who knows? But anyways, let's continue to finish this day off. And continue. I shove my hands into my pockets as I begin to walk back to my grandparents' house. My walk with Shun is still fresh in my mind. My talk with Shun. I miss doing things like this so much. A small smile comes to my face as I continue my sunset walk. I guess I'll just need to make the most of the time I have. Smoke silently rises from the nose of my father's old pig figurine. I watch it from the corner of my eye as I flop down on my bed to rest. Man, this has been a long day. Nothing happens in the country after dinner. It's completely different from what I'm used to in Osaka. Isn't that the truth, honestly, and especially with the with the pandemic and everything, just nowhere to go when you're living in like small towns or the country. I've had to adjust a lot. To living here again the past few days. When I'm home, I'm able to keep the windows shut because of air conditioning. When I found out the fan my grandparents set aside for me didn't work, all I could feel was despair. Despair turned to frustration when I figured out I couldn't leave the windows open either. Stupid cicadas. I guess that's what happens when you take something for granted. Look around my dad's room while fanning myself. This feeling of a full stomach is making me sleepy. My hand grips the television remote I left nearby. I feel my eyelids get heavier as they start to close. I should probably turn the television off, but it still feels too early for that. Lying still for a moment, I decide what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it on. I think I'm going to leave it on for now. I found sometimes the noise helps me rest. I know it uses a lot of electricity, but it's so soothing. My drowsiness is cut off violently when loud noises start coming from the television. Come on. As I blearily rub my eyes, I glance over at the screen. It looks like a feature on living in the country. What's being shown is quite fascinating, actually. There are hundreds of green lights floating freely by the river. The studio audience loudly voices their awe at the scene. Fireflies, huh? I haven't seen one since I moved away from Minasato. Even then, I didn't see them that often. Maybe I should go firefly catching while I'm here. Where did I last see any? I think I was with Grandpa at the time, but I can't quite remember the details. It's no use. The memory feels like an out-of-focus photograph. Maybe Grandpa remembers? I feel a sudden spark of excitement burn within me. You know what? I don't feel like sleeping right now. Why don't I go out there and find some fireflies? Haha! Well, that's exciting. How often do city boys get the chance to do this? I can feel my heart pounding as I jump out of bed and start making preparations. Probably need some bug spray. Getting covered in insect bites would suck. This is bad. I scratch my cheek as I look around. Getting directions from Grandpa was a good start. But Minasato looks completely different at night. Wah! I managed to get... Oh, it was just more like... Wah! Sorry. I managed to get myself lost quite quickly. Quite easily. I mean, I know roughly where I am. But I don't think I'm going to make it to my destination. No matter how hard I try. Where was it? My voice is swallowed up by the darkness. I see lights of faraway houses flicker in the distance. The only other light tonight is coming from the moon and stars. I carefully walk, trying not to stumble. There's not enough light for me to see where I'm putting my feet. Ugh. What happened to the rustic scenery from the daytime? Was it always creepy at night? I begin to regret coming this far out in the dark. I guess I could come back tomorrow, but... No. I've made it this far. I can tough it out a little longer. You're a big boy now, Hiroyuki. There's nothing to be afraid of out here. Alone in the dark. In the distance, I catch sight of dancing green lights. I came out to catch some fireflies, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I prepare my net and open my glass jar I brought with me. Target locked. A devious smile crosses my face. With everything ready, I look back up. Instead of seeing the fireflies again, I see another stranger light in the distance. It bobs up and down in a steady rhythm. That's kinda spooky. I feel a cold chill run down my spine. I try to shake it off, but something about it just feels off. Like I'm very much in danger. The sound of footsteps grows louder. Judging by the way the light is growing, I'd say it's coming right for me. My heart starts beating like crazy, but I resist the instinctive urge to run away. No, that's only going to get me killed. When there's a serial killer on the loose, you have to think rationally and on your feet. Okay, Hiro, just stay calm. Stay calm. Carefully try to sneak off and hide behind a tree. My gaze never shifts from the light coming towards me. I know if there are any sudden movements, I need to make a run for it. This was such a bad idea. Stupid. Why would I think catching fireflies alone at night was a good idea? I could be safe and sound at home, sleeping without care in the world. Now? I'm desperately trying to... Gah! I fall face first into the dirt. Gah! I crawl forward in a last-ditch attempt to hide. It's all over now. Surely the killer knows I'm here. God, oh God, oh God. You really do freeze when you're scared for your life. Close my eyes tightly. It'll all be over soon. The sound of rustling grass suddenly stops. I feel myself swallow with a loud gulp. Nothing? I timidly begin to open one eye. When I look up, I see the freshly severed head of a bear. Yeah! I sink back down to the ground. As I lie there trembling, the head suddenly speaks. Nishimura? No, this is not how it's supposed to end. Nishimura, it's me. My God, the killer even knows my name. Who are you, you bastard? When I gaze up to get a good look at my assailant, I see none other than Juuichi. Hello. Nah, that's not even his voice. Hello. Hello. Gah, why are you trying to scare me? This is the second time today I thought I was being chased by a serial killer. My apologies. That wasn't what I was trying to do. I saw you standing by the river and thought you might need help. It's dangerous to be near water without a light source. Then you fell. I was sure you hurt yourself. Screaming when you saw me didn't help. Oh. So this was all just a big misunderstanding. Scratch behind my ears. So sorry, Juuichi. I brush myself off as I stand. Wait. So you thought I was a serial killer? Yeah. He lets out a deep sigh. I've been told I looked scary before, but this is the first time I've ever been mistaken for something that evil. I'm sorry, I panicked. You know how we foxes are. Self-preservation instinct through fear is practically encoded in our DNA. I'm glad it's dark outside. Otherwise, I'm sure Juuichi would see my face as scarlet red. What were you thinking coming out here without a flashlight? I just wanted to catch some fireflies. I remember Grandpa leaving one on the table and telling me not to forget it. Why am I such a ditz? Oh. Without meaning to, I thumped my forehead with enough force to knock me down again. Yep, classic Nishimura. Here. Take my hand. If you sit too long on the grass, your pants are gonna get soaked with dew. Thanks. Ow, ow, ow! When I'm back on my feet, I notice a sharp pain in my ankle. I can barely stand. We need to get you home. You might have sprained something. I'll be fine, really. Ow. I bend down and rub my ankle. It really hurts, so I'm not convinced it's a sprain. Here. He turns his back to me and crouches down. I'll give you a ride. Hurry up and get on. What? You don't need to do that. Give me a minute and the pain will pass. Probably. There's no way I'm leaving you in the dark after all. But don't just stand there. He raises his voice, which usually indicates he's getting frustrated. Alright, I'll do it. Sorry. I feel slightly humiliated as I climb onto Juichi's back. I can feel him tensing up as he lifts my legs and holds them under his arms. I wrap my arms around his neck so I don't fall off. Fortunately, he's big enough compared to me that this isn't much of an issue. You okay? Yeah. I should be good. Thanks, Juuichi. With that, he starts walking, making sure the flashlight in his right hand keeps the path illuminated. I take a look around as well as we walk. It's like seeing everything with fresh eyes from up here. I'm not too heavy, am I? The guys I throw around are a lot heavier. Tora, for instance. I let out a dry laugh. He does seem to throw Tora a lot. Though, I'm sure it's because Tora provokes him into doing it. I don't know why, but lately he's been particularly annoying. It's like he's trying to get on my nerves. Is it all that different from back then, though? As soon as you guys start messing around, it's like the old days again. He used to be real timid about teasing me, but nowadays he doesn't hesitate at all. That swim team has been a bad influence on him. I'm sure Tora doesn't mean it. Juuichi lets out another deep sigh. I try to change the subject. By the way, what are you doing out here at this hour? I didn't think anyone from the village would be around the riverbed at a time like this. Unless they're a serial killer. Jeez, why am I so obsessed with them all of a sudden? I was taking a walk. A walk? Why? It's a daily routine for me. Huh, that's interesting. I had an image of 2017 Juuichi constantly practicing judo in his spare time. I suppose it's never good to make assumptions. You said you were out here catching fireflies? Yeah, I tried at least. That's kind of... His voice quiets as it trails off. If you're looking for fireflies, you should go further upstream. Huh? That's weird. Grandpa said they'd be around where I was. He sighs softly. Are you sure, or did you get lost since you're not familiar with Minasato anymore? No comment. It's too late to go out to the right place tonight. Besides, I don't want to aggravate your injury. You should stop for the day. Don't worry about it. It's feeling better already. He stops in his tracks. Would you like me to put you down then? Not really. I rest my head on Juuichi's shoulder and smile. Is it wrong to say that I like being your damsel tonight? The panic in his voice is priceless. I can't help this feeling, though. It's kind of cold tonight, and his body is so warm. No, I suppose not. Just, take better care of yourself, Nishimura. You got it. Juuichi begins walking again. The gravel below makes a crunching sound under our combined weight. The rocking rhythm of his steps is hypnotic. Soothing. Huh? Whoa, I dozed off there for a second. I quickly pull back my face that had been buried in the back of Juichi's neck. Ugh, it's so rude of me to fall asleep with him carrying me. You seem sleepy. I'm not going to sleep. Not yet. So you admit you're sleepy. It's fine. I'll wake you up when we reach your house. Till then, rest until then. Don't worry. I'm doing this because I want to. Sorry. I'm just gonna close my eyes for a bit. I feel the drowsiness quickly return. I rest my head against the back of his neck again and close my eyes. Juichi's back is so soft and warm. Nishimura? Huh? You were dead asleep. Huh? You must have had a long day. I look around in confusion before I recognize my surroundings. How long was I out? About half an hour, give or take. Wow. Only wanted to close my eyes for a bit to clear my head. I didn't mean to sleep that long. Thanks for carrying me, Juuichi. He gently releases me as I drop down from his back. It's no big deal. Are you sure you're fine? You don't need me to take you inside? Nah, I think the rest did me some good. There's practically no pain anymore. I lightly stretch and shake my legs so he can see. That's good. At least it's nothing serious. Thanks again for everything, Juuichi. I mean it. No problem. As usual, he responds with only a few words. So, do you want to try catching fireflies again tomorrow? I'm worried you're going to try again. I guess I've been kind of a pain tonight. Maybe it isn't such a bad idea to have Juuichi along for this. Are you offering to come with me? Yes. It's faint, but I'm sure Juuichi is smiling. He certainly replied faster than usual. Alright then, let's do it. Make sure you dress appropriately. I will, don't worry. I'll be prepared for sure next time. Well then, I guess I'll see you tomorrow night. With a wave of his hand, he turns and starts walking home, for home. Good night, Juuichi. I stand and watch as the large silhouette disappears into the night. This will definitely turn out better than doing it alone. I start preparing what I need for it right now. My eyelids are already struggling to stay open at this point. Maybe it's better I get some sleep. I'll have plenty of time to prepare tomorrow. I just need to make sure I remember. August 5th. After breakfast, I help Grandma with washing the dishes. Can't help but hum to myself. For some reason, I'm in a really good mood today. Thank you for the miso soup, Grandma. It was delicious. You're welcome, dear. She has a huge, genuine smile on her face while she cleans. It must not be very often she has someone other than Grandpa complimenting her food. Yeah? To my surprise, she starts humming along with me. It's a theme song to an old television show I watched when I was a kid. I'm surprised she knows it too. Hoshi no Tabi, Grandma. Oh, I didn't think you'd remember that show. When you were a baby, your father used to hold you in his lap while you watched it together. You're such an adorable child. Grandma. Oh, now look at you. You're almost all grown up. Funny how time flies. Wow. You're gonna make me cry. I suppose I never thought about it, but I'm sure my visit has awakened a lot of nostalgic feelings in her too. As the sunlight shines through the window, I can see her eyes twinkle. I love you, Grandma. She pulls me closer with her right arm and squeezes. I love you too. I wish I could stay like this forever. I'm glad I got this opportunity to be with my grandparents. You never know how much longer you have with them. There's a sense of comfort, familiarity in her embrace. But time marches on. Not everything lasts forever. distance myself from her, blushing slightly. Even now, the moment's already gone. Could you get that, dear? I'll finish up the dishes. Sure. I wipe my hands off with the nearby towel, then rush to catch the phone in time. Hello, Nishimura residence. This is Hiroyuki. Hiro! A voice cries out from the other end of the line. I know that voice anywhere. Tora? Why do you sound so surprised? I don't know. If you could only see my face, you'd understand how annoying it is. Normal people don't exactly yell somebody's name into the phone. I take a deep breath and try to maintain composure. Dude, you're taking things way too seriously. Meh. Anyway, the strange pause. Do you want to meet me at the bus stop in a half an hour? I've got something cool I want to show you. Huh? I'll take that as a yes. Thanks, Yuki. I'll see you soon. He usually makes that noise when he's embarrassed. I feel like I just got hit by a whirlwind. What just happened? Put the phone back on the receiver and returned to the kitchen. Who was that, dear? It was Tora. He wants to meet me at the bus stop in a half an hour. Is that so? I nodded in confusion. He didn't say what for. I guess it's a surprise. The boy is something else. She smiles at me. I'm sure the two of you will have a good time. Sure. I glance off to the side. Since you're heading out, I'm going to give you a list of errands I'd like you to run. Oh, I know I said I'd be more than happy to do this for them, but I kind of got used to not having any yesterday. My brow dripping with sweat. I finally arrive at the bus stop. Of course the heat came back. Why wouldn't it? Wiping the sweat away, I collapse onto the bench and give a heavy sigh. I don't know what Torahiko wants, but I can't deny his excitement and is contagious. I wonder what it's going to be. Tora usually saves these things for big occasions. While waiting for him, I can feel myself getting excited too, causing my tail to swish back and forth. Huh? Those bushes over there moved. A grin breaks out on my face. So Tora thinks he can pull a fast one on me, eh? Not this time, tiger boy. I slowly stand up and carefully approach the bush. Gotcha! I lunge, only to discover nothing there. Standing up, I scratch my head. Maybe it was just the breeze? I can't do it right now. It's a little late at night. Wow! I fall onto my rear, glaring up at the laughing tiger. You should have seen the look on your face, Hiroyuki. Frowning, I glance down at the ground, flattening my ears against my head. That's not funny anymore. I suddenly feel a strong hand on my shoulder. Looking up, I find myself staring into Tora's eyes. A small smile shows on his face. Hey, I'm sorry, Yuki. I guess I went overboard. My cheeks flare up at the nickname he just called me. His smile widens as he extends a hand down to me, offering to help lift me up. I stare at him for a few moments. I'll take Tora's hand. I slowly reach up and grab on. A nostalgic sense of warmth travels from my hand and sends tingles throughout my entire body. His hand feels so soft. In an instant, I'm lifted up to my feet. Whoa. Caught up in my thoughts, I don't expect the sudden movement and end up stumbling forward. I close my eyes, expecting to fall. However, all I feel is Tora's muscular chest. Hey, I gotcha. My eyes open, I find myself pressed against him. I'm at a loss for words. I didn't know you felt that way, Hiroyuki. I blink at him in confusion. Huh? The tiger's grin widens. Well, it seems you've fallen for me. I guess I'm just that big of a stud. My cheeks go red and I clench my teeth. Embarrassed, I give his left arm a good-natured punch. Ah! What the hell? I'm still blushing. I look away from him, shaking my head. Dumbass. Yep. Still as unapologetic as ever. So, what is this thing you wanted to show me? Oh. I wait for Tora to explain what he wants to show me. He seems to stall, which only makes me impatient. I begin to get even more annoyed at his hesitation, especially when I'm blasted by more of Minasato's hot summer breeze. You know what, Tora? I might just give it a pass today. What? But why? I breathe out an annoyed sigh while he stares at me, a pleading look on his face. Well, for starters, you called me out here and then scared the living daylights out of me. Oof. Tora gives a pitiful whimper at my scolding. I feel almost guilty until I remember my frustration with him. Second, I've got a long list of errands I need to do for Grandma. At this point, I'm acutely aware of the heat beating down my head. Lastly, it's just way too hot to do anything. Sorry, Tora. I lower my glance to the ground and turn away. As I take a step, I'm suddenly stopped by Torahiko as Torahiko stop as Torahiko calls out. Please wait, Hiroyuki. I promise this will be worth it. I glance over my shoulder to see the tiger looking at me, his pleading expression seemingly desperate. With another sigh, With another sigh, I turn and face him. A small smile tugs at the corner of my mouth. I just can't stay mad at him. He's my best friend. Despite his bad habits, I forgot how fun it is to be with him. Okay, Tora. What is it you want me to see? A relieved expression makes its way to Tora's face. I can't exactly show you here. I feel a pang of irritation. Come on, dude. He stares at me warily, almost like a guilty child caught with their hand in the cookie jar. I'm vaguely aware of my eye twitching. It's in Kazanari. I want you to come with me to swimming practice. My eyes widen in shock. This is unexpected. If you don't want to go, it's fine. I just wanted for us to hang out as much as possible this summer. A familiar warmth finds its way to my face, causing me to lower my gaze to the ground. Truth be told, I do enjoy spending time with him. Knowing there's a pool at the end of this, I can see a whole bunch of benefits now. Cool water to splash around in.
Lots of athletic guys wearing nothing but Speedos. Their muscles flexing as they swim. Torahiko wearing nothing but a Speedo. You okay, Yuki? I'm snapped out of my thoughts by Tora's concerned voice, his right hand on my left shoulder. What? I'm fine. I totally wasn't imagining you in a Speedo, I swear. I mean... Sure, I'd be glad to go with you. Really? A bright smile makes its way to his face. Thanks, man. I promise you'll enjoy it. Before long, the bus arrives, snapping us back to reality. The doors open, inviting us in. After you. I nod. The two of us jump in after greeting the bus driver and take a seat together near the front. After waiting a few moments with no other arrivals, the bus closes its doors and begins the journey to Kazunari. As I look out the window, I begin to recall how much I missed everything. I find myself once again thinking about what I'll see in the near future. We arrive at Kazunari High School, and I find myself in awe at its size. For being in a country area, it's actually quite large. I assume it's to accommodate the large amount of students coming in from surrounding villages like Minasato. I jump slightly when I feel Tora gently place his hand on my shoulder, giving it a soft squeeze. Welcome to my stomping grounds. Pretty cool, huh? I raise an eyebrow at that. I probably wouldn't use cool to describe a school. Yeah, it looks pretty good. You know, for a school. Weren't you supposed to be the smart one? Come on, Yuki. Let me show you around. I roll my eyes playfully, but nod. Tora releases my shoulder, and the two of us begin walking the halls of the school. Truth be told, I'm a little curious about it. After all, if I still lived in Minasato, I'd be going here too. A feeling of loneliness washes over me for a brief moment. I can't help but think of what it would be like to see everyone all the time. To hang out together. That would be nice. You paying attention, man? I blink when Tora calls out to me. As I glance over at him, he simply smiles at me and shakes his head in amusement. Oh, sorry, Tora. I guess I'm feeling a bit nostalgic. The tiger looks at me, raising an eyebrow. I started remembering the days when we all went to Minasato Elementary. Which made me think about what it would be like if I was still living here. It's obvious, isn't it? Nothing would have changed. We'd still be hanging out all the time. The way he describes it so fondly only makes me wish I could have remained in Minasato. My eyes begin to sting thinking about what could have been. And of course. So I turn my face to the side and force a smile. Yeah. Feeling one of his hands touch my shoulders yet again, I look at him. When he notices the moisture blurring my vision, he smiles a bit wider. Hey, you're here now, and that's what matters. So, let nature take its course, okay? Give him a nod, replacing my forced smile with a real one. Tora's right. I'm here now, getting to spend time with my friends, and that's what really matters. I slowly reach a hand up and place it on his. Thank you, Tora. Torahiko's cheeks seem to go pink. He stares at me silently for a moment before finally finding his tongue. Anytime, Yuki. The two of us stand there in silence. After a few awkward seconds, I decide it's time to speak up. So, where's the pool? I know it's kind of mean of me to tease, but I can't help myself. It's what we used to do back in the good old days. Oh, right. The tiger scratches the back of his head. This way. He gestures over to the left toward a pair of doors. Come to think of it, they seem like they would be an obvious entry to the school's swimming pool. As Tora walks ahead, I follow behind. The same image from before makes its way into the back of my mind. It leaves me with a strange feeling in my chest. I gulp as we enter the locker room. Sure enough, I get an eyeful of attractive swimmers in their underwear, or less. I know my face must be bright red because it feels extremely hot. Tora doesn't seem to notice, thankfully, or he'd never let me live it down. Across the room, an otter calls out to him. Hey Tora, glad you finally decided to show up. Who, I curl my tail around myself in an effort to conceal my obvious uncomfortable predicament. A soft chuckle is given by my best friend as he waves dismissively. Yeah. I know I'm a bit late, but... He steps to the side, revealing me behind him. This is my best friend, Hiroyuki Nishimura. I couldn't let him visit Kazunari High without showing me around the place. I'm suddenly aware of many pairs of eyes glancing at me. Shyly, I wave before giving a bow. Nice to meet you all. I'm Hiroyuki Nishimura from Osaka. I desperately try to close my eyes, looking at areas above the waist. Torahiko invited me to spend the day with him. The otter from before smiles at me. The panther stares at me for a few moments before giving a quick nod and retreating to the showers. And Akita grins at Tora. Ah, the best friend you've been gushing about the past year or so. We get to meet him at last. That little detail seems to make Tora uncomfortable. I'm caught off guard when the Akita walks up to me and extends his hand. I'm just teasing. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. Name's Yuto. Tora shared a lot of stories about you. Relaxing a little, I take his hand and gently shake it. Tora seems to relax as well. Seeing an opportunity, the otter rushes over to me and smiles widely. As I let go of Yuto's hand, he suddenly takes mine in his. I'm Hiro. Eyes up top, Hiro. Eyes up top. I must say, Tora's description of you. Wow. You're even cuter than he said you'd be. My face goes even redder at the compliment. Especially coming from someone so attractive. He leans in close and grins. If you'd like, I can show you around town when practice is over. We can get a bite to eat, or maybe... My mouth drops at the suggestiveness, but he doesn't bat an eye. He seems so at ease with sexuality that it makes me envious. I notice Torahiko staring at us from the side, looking very uncomfortable. He walks over and clears his throat, interrupting the otter. Haru, can you keep in your pants for once in your life? The otter simply grins wider and releases my hand, staring up at Tora. In case you haven't noticed, No pants to speak of. He points down. I don't catch myself in time, getting an eyeful of the bulge in his Speedo. It's what I do, man. It's in my blood. Ugh. At any rate, you should get changed. Coach Nagano was looking for you. Hiro turns away, preparing to head into the showers. Before going too far, he stops and looks over his shoulder, before winking at me. It was nice to meet you, Hiroyuki. I hope we'll see more of you around here. Wah! He gives a sudden cry of protest as Hiro begins pushing him towards the showers. As he disappears from sight, I take a deep breath and exhale. Tora merely sighs and shakes his head. Sorry about that, Yuki. Haru's a good guy, but he's all hormones. Makes you wonder if he's somehow related to Takeshi or something. I chuckle softly, giving a dismissive wave with my hand. I have to admit, I'm quite flustered at being hit on so shamelessly, but I think I'm hiding it pretty well. Glancing at Torahiko, I force another grin. I'm okay, Tora. I don't want you to getting in trouble, though, so I'll let you change. To my surprise, Tora winks at me and puts his hands on his hips. Uh-oh. What's he planning now? You sure you don't want to watch me change? For the umpteenth time today, my face goes bright red. The worst part about being a snow fox is the fact it's easy to see when I'm embarrassed. That and getting dirty so easily, but that's another matter. Reaching over, I give him another gentle shove and walk to the doors. I'll be out here if you need me. Tora's grin fades as he looks to the side. Yeah, sure. I won't be long, Yuki. While I wait just outside the locker room doors, I stare over at the pool. There are already a few people swimming. Wait, isn't that... I noticed the same panther from the locker room swimming steadily. I thought he went to the showers. When did he leave? That guy must be a ninja. What's that? What? I give a shrill yelp and tense up. Glancing warily over my shoulder, I see Torahiko looking at me. With a sigh, I relax and turn around, trying to compose myself. Oh, it's nothing. The sight I had imagined the whole day here is finally out in front of me. Torahiko raising an eyebrow, but says nothing. As I stare at him, I gulp, my tongue flicking across my dry lips to moisten them. I wouldn't ever admit this to him, but he looks absolutely stunning. I mentally slap myself for thinking such a thing. He's my best friend. Ugh. I think this heat is affecting my hormones or something. Not to mention Haru's attempts at seducing me. Quick, I need something to say. The silence is getting a bit awkward. So... We speak at the same time, causing both of us to stall. We stare at each other for a moment before the two of us break into laughter. Sorry to keep you waiting. I shake my head and smile up at my friend. It's okay, Tora. I wasn't waiting for that long. He smiles back, leaving me feeling the sensation of warmth once more. Before I can dwell on it, though, a raspy voice calls out. There you are, Shima. It's about time you showed up. Torahiko blinks, the two of us glancing in the direction of the voice. A salamander walks briskly toward us. I was... Oh. Oh, it's another swimmer. I thought it was the coach for a second. I was beginning to get worried, dude. I glanced back at Tora, confused. The tiger chuckles and rubs the back of his head sheepishly. Yeah. Oh, it is the coach. I'm dumb. Sorry, coach. I was just showing my buddy around. Salamander turns his attention to me. Wait, are you the hero dude that Ushima keeps talking about? With a blink, I nod. Yes. My name is Hiroyuki Nishimura. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Sir? Nobody calls me that. Call me Nagano. Dude, it's my name after all. He extends a hand out. I hesitantly grab it. No, that's terrible etiquette. You should firmly grasp the other hand when you're giving a handshake. Sorry. I feel his hand clamp around mine, shaking it up and down fiercely. Once he's satisfied mangling my hand, he turns his attention to Tora. Ow. So, my star pupil. Ready to show what you've got? Torahiko's cheeks burn a bright red. He nods before looking at me. Take a seat over there, little dude. I want you to witness as the next Olympic great is born. Wow, that's some high praise. And expectations. Is Tora going to be able to handle that? Sitting down on the other side of the pool, I watch as Nagano and Torahiko exchange a few words before the tiger approaches the diving block. He glances over at me, winking and flashing a thumbs up. When I do the same back to him, he suddenly becomes more serious and focused. He takes a deep breath and prepares to dive. Time seems to pass quickly. Tora's swimming is incredible. He's a far cry from the pudgy little tiger boy I knew 5 years ago. I wish I knew how to swim like that. I watch as people leave, fighting back a blush as Haru winks at me on his way out. It really seems like that otter has no shame. I'm unable to stop myself from chuckling as Yudo pushes him out, waving at me as he leaves. I wave back, happy that I got to meet some new interesting people. Standing up, I walk over to Torahiko and Nagano, smiling widely. Tora, you were absolutely amazing. Torahiko's cheeks go a deep shade of red, especially when Nagano nods in agreement. Indeed, it was. If everything goes according to plan, we'll be cheering this bad boy on in 2020. My eyes widen in amazement. Tora, 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games? It's not that special, guys. I shake my head in amusement, the salamander giving him a light, playful punch in the arm. Save your modesty, Oshima. You were terrific. I'm proud of you, dude. He places his hand on the tiger's shoulders and gives a warm smile. Keep it up. I'll see you later. It was great to meet you, Hiroyuki. Hope to see you here more often. I bow respectfully, causing the salamander to chuckle. As I return to my upright position, he reaches a hand out toward me and messes my hair. Yeah. I can't help but laugh, my tail swishing to side. It was nice to meet you too. I'll definitely come back to cheer Tora on. He moves his hand away from my head, and flashes the two of us a thumbs up before heading into the locker room. After he disappears, I can't help but give a long sigh, which instantly attracts Torahiko's attention. "What's up, bro? Why the long face?" I look up at him and give another sigh, my previously switching tail now drooping. I flatten my ears against my head. "You were totally amazing, Tora. It's just, I never really took the time to learn how to swim well." My God, what have I been doing all my life? He looks at me with concern. You used to be scared of it too, but here you are. Not only have you overcome your fear, but you've become an amazing swimmer. I'm just the same old useless Nishimura. Sorry. I'm pitiful, Tora. My eyes widen as Tora pulls me into his arms and holds me close. He reaches a hand to the back of my head and gently massages it. "You're not pitiful. Not at all, Yuki. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I have my reasons. I felt I simply had to overcome my fear." The tears I felt stinging at my eyes begin to fade away at Torahiko's words of comfort. Instead of the self-consciousness I was feeling, I began to feel warmth. "Tora?" His eyes meet mine, and for a moment, I feel strange. "Yeah, Yuki?" Finding my train of thought, I give a slight grin, with my paws pressing against his chest. I gently push myself out of his embrace. "You're still wet." Blinking, he instinctively releases me before noticing his still wet fur. He becomes aware of the dampness that has appeared on my shirt before erupting into laughter. "Sorry, man. I didn't mean to put a dampening on your day." As much as I try to groan at his awful pun, I can't help but laugh. Smiling up at him, I rub the back of my head shyly. "Thank you, Tora. Maybe one of these days I'll get better at it." He grins at me again, placing a hand on my shoulder. "Why wait? I could give you a few pointers." Tora nods. "Yeah, of course. Now. Of course now. I'll help you become more confident in the water." I gulp and glance over at the pool. I'll admit, it does sound like a nice idea. And learning from a good friend. Best friend. As much as I want to have Tora teach me to be a better swimmer, something tells me he has something else in mind. I take a step back away from the pool. "Huh? Sorry, Yuki. I didn't mean to be so pushy. I wasn't considering your feelings." I simply shake my head. "It's not that, dude." "What do you mean?" I see right through that silly tiger. "You think he's got me, huh? Well, I've got more brains than he thinks. You're just trying to get me in the pool so you can prank me." Busted. What? Nuh-uh. Playing dumb isn't gonna work this time, dude. I didn't even bring swimwear for this. What did you think I was gonna do? Swim naked for you? He doesn't do a whole lot to help his case. As fun as this is, I still got errands to run for Grandma. Can we get going? I guess. With a nod, the tiger begins walking to the locker room with me, following closely. Torahiko changes quietly, and the two of us make our way to the bus stop. For some reason, he hasn't spoken more than 2 words to me since we left the school. We remained silent the entire way home. I could tell he has something on his mind, but the words never seemed to come. When we arrived back in Minasato, we waved goodbye to each other and go our separate ways. Did I misinterpret something? He's not usually that quiet. Well, I've still got work I need to do. There's no use thinking about it now. Let's see. I can find eggs at... Look down at the errand list. I've been shopping for hours now. I figured I'd be done with it in a flash, but for some reason all things I need are spread across the whole town. To top it all off, I don't know where half these places are. I rode around the corner into an alleyway. The directions suggest the place I'm looking for should be near the end of this road. I thought I knew downtown Minasato pretty well, but Grandma's list is leading me to depths I've never thought existed. Come on, Hiro. The directions say the butcher's in the same district as the corner market. This isn't rocket science. Ugh. It doesn't help that the temperature's crazy today. I suppose I could try calling one of my friends for help, but it's not like many of them have cell phones. Plus, if I told someone I got lost on a grocery run, the whole group would never let me live it down. If my estimations are correct... Oh. I unexpectedly bump into someone's snout first. Ow! My nose! I gingerly rub it, tears blurring my vision. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm sorry for jumping out at you. Oh, it's Shin, okay. No, it's my fault. My apologies. Hiroyuki. I recognize that voice. Once the pain subsides, I rub my eyes to get a clear view of who's speaking. Shin? Oh, you don't know how happy I am to see you. Without warning, I lunge forward and embrace my friend. Hiro! I realize what I'm doing and release him, rubbing behind my head in embarrassment. Sorry. You're sure acting weird. Is everything alright? I stopped for a moment to consider my next move. I could tell I could tell my Shin my predicament, but is he the kind to hold it against me? Nah, probably not. If you're gonna stand there, catatonic, I've got better things to do with my time. I was just thinking. My face turns red at what I'm about to confess. Okay, please don't laugh at me. His eyes tell me I can trust him with this information. I'm kinda lost. Grandma's sending you on errands, huh? Let me guess. You're looking for the butcher, right? How did you know that? Let's just say I've had my share of challenges shopping here too. Need some help? The sun starts to set when we finally finish the grocery section of my list. I'm really lucky you were around, Shin. I had no idea where everything was back there. You're welcome. It's really inconvenient not being able to use my cell phone out here. think I get along just fine without one. Yeah, well, once you've had it, it's hard to go back to this. By the way, I never asked what's in the bag you got there. I point at the bag hanging over his shoulder. Were you out buying something too? Why are you asking? Does that surprise you? Okay, Hiro, choose your next words carefully. Kinda? I figured you had people around to do that for you. Like your butler, Mr. Amaki. I'm capable of doing my own shopping, Hiroyuki. Besides, I like being the one to pick out fresh produce. Has the little black cat finally taken root in Minasato? It's a farming village, so it makes sense we'd have the freshest produce around. Yeah, but aren't your parents, like, paying someone to do this? I'm tired of leaving everything for someone else to do. I'm not a child anymore. I'd like to be able to do some of the everyday tasks myself. I look at it like an exercise. I browse around, pick the product I want, check to see if it fits the budget. Oh. That's so... You know what, Shin? That's surprisingly normal of you. Surprisingly? Yeah. It's cool that you're taking initiative on stuff like this. There's only 2 of us in that house. Can't make Amaki do everything. I don't know what image you have of me in your head, but I don't live a life cut off from reality. That's not what I'm trying to say, Shin. Come on, Hiro, you're losing him. I'm just saying, I think it's cool you're helping out. It's kind of like me running errands for Grandma today. Oh. Thanks, I guess. I suppose I'm a little sensitive to people stereotyping me as the spoiled rich kid. That's not what I was what I was getting at. Sorry if it sounded like that, Shin. It's fine. Great. You're doing so well, and then I go and sour the mood. Shin suddenly leans forward, holding his chest. Shin? Shin, are you okay? I'm fine. Just my asthma. Nothing to worry about. He continues walking ahead of me. Alright. I catch up and walk with him a bit, trying to make conversation. But he stays quiet and gives me only one-word answers the rest of the way. We eventually reach a fork in the road. I'm heading home. Good luck with the rest of your errands. Oh, right. See you later, Shin. I wave at him as he heads for the crossroads. I hope what I said didn't offend him. Alright, so I'm going to leave it off here. It's about time I end the video. So, this episode has been pretty alright. I do remember from the original of doing the Firefly thing with Juuichi, so I was kind of expecting that, and despite already knowing what happened there, it is very cute. I love that. I honestly can't wait to actually capture Firefly with Juuichi. It'll be a very sweet moment for sure. It's nice that we got to see a little bit more of the side characters now. I don't think I really saw too many of the side characters yet. This is the first time I think I saw them. Though, of course, I think these are new characters. Cause I don't think Hiro was in the original, from what I remember, or the coach or whatever. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong. Somebody's gonna correct me because OG veterans are gonna correct me and be like, "Yeah, they existed." And I'm over here like, "Wait, what?"
So it's actually nice that we're actually starting to see some side characters now. And of course, I screwed up a couple of options. To be fair, though, I was kind of more like, you know, I feel like, in a way, since I didn't have a swimsuit or anything, I guess it would just be the more rational option to be like, oh, I get what you're trying to do, Tora, ha ha ha, type of thing. Of course, the Shin one was kind of difficult because it was like, you know, it's like, unlike you. Like, I feel like it'd be more insulting to be like, oh, it's so unlike you. You know, I don't know. I think regardless, it's kind of awkward. It was going to be awkward regardless of how you put it, because it is both ways it's going to make him sound like he's the spoiled rich kid, so. Oh well, if I pick the wrong option, I picked the wrong option. Again, this is just some fun little playthrough, so. That said, next time we'll finish up August 5th. Hopefully we'll get that night scene with Juuichi, fingers crossed, and we'll continue on to August 6th. So until then, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!